What's up gamers, welcome back to GGWP. I'm your host Hayden from Wazzup.PH. And today we'll be taking a look at the brand new ROG Phone 5S. Let's get into it. The ROG Phone 5S was released late last year as a slight better model compared to its predecessor, the ROG Phone 5, with most of the changes happening internally, and we'll get to that in a bit. So here on the front of the box, we got the ROG logo, and down here we got the name ROG Phone S5, and its core, the Snapdragon 888 Plus. So on the side, we got some more nice designedly text, ROG, the same here. And on the back, we got the details and the specs of the phone, which we'll discuss in a bit. So now let's look inside the box. First off, we're greeted here by a nice graphic of Akira, who is the mascot of the ROG Phone 5 line. And for the first part of the contents, we have the box that says "For those who dare." And in the back of it, we have the SIM injector pin that's shaped like the ROG logo. Inside of it is a phone guide, the phone case, which we'll get back to in a minute, a warranty card, and a nice looking set of ROG stickers. Now let's take a look at the unit itself. This isn't built like your typical phone. This is very heavy, so you know it's packing some serious power inside. And now let's see what's at the last layer of the box. So first off, we have the 65-watt charger with the ROG logo and ROG brand on it. Then we have the USB Type-C braided cables for your charger. And then we have these two rubber covers for the multiple ports that the phone has. And that's it. That's all you have in the ROG 5S box. So now let's check out the phone itself. But first, we need to do the case. So, looking at the case, this isn't really made to protect your phone, but rather it's a design and aesthetic piece to highlight the RGB panel on the back of your phone. This will light up later. So now let's remove the plastic from the phone. And wow, this is very beautiful. So first, let's start off at the back. So as you can see here, this is the RGB panel as I highlighted earlier, which will color according to your customization, and I will show you that later. So here is your 3 cameras with a flashlight here. So this is a very good looking phone. It has a 6.87-inch AMOLED display with 144Hz refresh rate. So now I am going to power this up for the first time. Wow, that is pretty. So now I'm gonna set this up and get back to you with the gaming review. Alright, so before we get into the gaming performance, let's quickly go over some of the most notable features of the ROG Phone 5S. I've already mentioned that it has a 6.7-inch AMOLED display. I also wanted to mention that the screen is 23% brighter than previous ROG phones, and it shows during the performance test. If you're worried that it's being bad for your eyes, don't worry, as the phone has DC dimming to adjust your brightness, as well as having lower blue light emissions. Next is the core, the Snapdragon 888 Plus, which is one of the biggest ups and biggest downs of the phone. But first, the ups. The Snapdragon 888 Plus is a very powerful core. The overall experience is very fast and very smooth. It prides itself on its AI accelerator, processing apps and games very fast, no latency, no frame drops. It can get hot, of course, but that depends on the game you're playing and the settings you're playing with. So as powerful as this phone is, you still need to manage your settings and optimize it to work perfectly. Next is its battery and charging. This phone has two 300 mAh batteries, which could bring some good benefits to it. First is its charging speed. This thing can go from 0 to 75% in half an hour with the 65-watt charger. It also charges at a lower temperature thanks to its 2-cell design. At the same time, it also discharges at a lower temperature even if it's doing some heavy tasks such as gaming. Additionally, between the 2 cells is the motherboard, which provides cooling, at the same time good weight balance. One of my favorite features is the X mode and the armory crate. The X mode is a button setting that switches your phone from casual mode to gaming mode. This is really cool since it optimizes your setting to function depending on your use. You can customize this even further in the armory crate where you can access things such as CPU, fan speed, and etc. This is where you can also turn on your RGB panel on the back of your phone. You can customize its lighting and pattern according to your liking. Next is the air triggers, two touch-sensitive panels on the top and bottom of the right side of the phone, and when placed horizontally, it's the left and the right triggers. This feature is great because of its ability to be customizable to fit each game, as you can place the two trigger buttons wherever you like according to your playstyle. Additionally, this you can have up to 4 buttons at the exact same time, as you can split the two panels in halves to have up to 4 buttons with different functions. A special mention to its speakers and camera. Firstly, the speakers. The phone has 2 speakers, one at the top and one at the bottom, and the volume is really good, especially during gameplay. The sound really pops off and has a crisp feeling to it. Lastly is its camera, which is really nice. It has 64 megapixel Sony IMX, a really nice macro shot, and a decent selfie camera. But overall, this feature really isn't outstanding, as this phone is made for gaming instead of taking pictures. Alright, now it's time for the performance test. I tested 5 different games on the ROG Phone 5S, namely Mobile Legends, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wildrift, and Hyperfront, and I will describe to you how it made my experience great. First up is Mobile Legends, and right off the bat, you can really see that added brightness, as out of all the phones that I've used, the ROG Phone 5S made this game look super vibrant and very pleasing to the eyes. It also unlocks ultra frame rates and ultra graphics, and in combination with that, the in-game effects look super cool. You can really see your hero transition from motion to motion. And additionally, it really made me appreciate the skins that I own because of its special effects. Next is Call of Duty Mobile, and my goodness did I enjoy playing this game. And that's because of its air triggers. Now, for some context, I played a lot of console growing up, so I'm really used to playing with triggers, especially when I play Call of Duty. And this just feels like that. As I can place the 2 trigger buttons on the shoot and aim as it is on the console. And it's like doing the 4-finger technique that a lot of players practice on their phones, but a whole lot more easier. It actually makes me feel somewhat guilty that I can use the triggers to my advantage, but hey, it's a lot of fun to use. I tested next is Genshin Impact, one of the heaviest games to run on a phone, and I gotta say, it didn't do bad. First off, it looks absolutely great. The AMOLED display and added brightness makes it visually stunning. It also can run up to medium graphics, which is very impressive since a lot of phones can only run up to low settings. If you do it on a high setting, the phone will overclock. Because Genshin Impact is such a heavy game to run, this is the game where I experienced the most heating because of the Snapdragon Core 888 Plus. And even if you manage to optimize all of your settings to fit into game mode, it will still heat up. So you still need to be careful with that. Up next is League of Legends Wildrift. And my common problem with Wildrift is that it's a bit too dark visually for my liking. But with the ROG Phone 5S, it looks so good. It ups the brightness ×2, and I can greatly appreciate how good looking this game is. And as well as Mobile Legends, it looks so good in game. You can clearly see your champion transition from move to move. Next up is Hyperfront, the latest game to make waves because of similarities to another game made by Riot. Now, Hyperfront is already a decently looking good game, but on the ROG Phone 5S, it looks great. And once again, I am able to use the left and right trigger button functions for shooting and aiming. And in game, it looks really cool. When you're loading or casting the different skills of the different heroes in game, it looks super cool. And when it's finally casted, it looks absolutely amazing. All the games that I've tested today on the ROG Phone 5S runs super smoothly. Overall, at the price of 42,995 pesos, the ROG Phone 5S is a great gaming performer. The AMOLED display looks super nice, and it has a powerful gaming core in the Snapdragon 888 Plus. You just really need to be careful with it being warm. My final score on this phone is an 8.5 out of 10. Great display, nice looking aesthetics, powerful gaming core, customizability of features, but also prone to being warm on some games. I'm Hayden from Wazzup.PH. This has been GGWP. Say goodbye and good game.